Is it not cut in convenient sized pieces? Taylor is a little old lady. She's had lots and lots of offspring. She's a really good mum. She's had 10 babies and they've gone halfway around the world for the rest of the red panda breeding program. So if you look at Chito, you can see that he has very distinct red tear stains coming from his eyes, whereas when Tayla lifts her head up, the predominant colour on his face is white. Chito, Tayla, was born at Auckland Zoo and he's lived most of his life here at Hamilton. He came down when he was just a youngster. Tayla was born in Australia at the National Zoo and Aquarium, not sure what state that's in. And she came over here when she was fairly young as well. These guys have been paired up for the better part of a decade or more. So they've been here for quite a long time and they're real used to the routine. Red panda are supposed to be primarily herbivores, which is a little bit odd for a member of the carnivore family. But somewhere along their evolutionary history, they've decided that bamboo is way easier to catch than anything that runs away from them. So in the wild, roughly 90% of their diet would be bamboo shoots and new leaves. They do supplement that occasionally with the odd insect, maybe a bird's nest with eggs or chicks, some rodents if they were feeling particularly energetic and wanted to chase them down. But pretty much bamboo. Hey. They're listed as endangered on the IUCN Red List, and the primary reason for that is habitat loss. So they're found in no specific country, generally in the Himalayan foothills between about 2,500 and 5,000 metres above sea level in temperate forests. And so a lot of that habitat's being removed to make room for farmland and living areas for us. Another reason is the illegal pet trade. As you can see, these guys are pretty cute and cuddly. And being cold weather adapted animals, their fur is very warm. So a few weird things happen with them. People consider their tails to be good luck charms. I prefer their tails to be firmly attached to them. This is some weighing. So this is Jamuna, she's our youngster. And she is, let's face it, a bit of a beast for a red panda. She's been a big girl since birth and she's seen no reason to change that. So she's weighing in at about 7.4 kilos this morning, which on average is about 2.5 kilos above what a wild female would weigh. And that is not going to help the situation. Jamuna is quite similar to Chito in her facial marking. She's got the dark tear stains, but the best distinguishing feature is this ear of hers. It has been a little bit kinked over like that since she was just a youngster, and it's a feature that she actually shared with her twin brother Tenzing. He also had the floppy ear. Tenzing has moved out. He recently went to Tasmania Zoo to be part of the breeding program over there. Jamuna is the last youngster to not move out. Jamuna is very much a food motivated panda. She will tell you quite quickly when she wants her grapes. If I don't give her another one very shortly, she is going to come down to the ground and she's going to start climbing my leg for them. The other good thing about Jamuna is that food motivation means that she is very good for wanting to come down and doing training. So being the youngster and probably the future of Hamilton Zoo's breeding program, she is being trained for things like ultrasounds. So hopefully I'm going to get her up onto a little frame and she'll be able to stand there and we'll be able to put an ultrasound probe onto her tummy to see pictures of any potential offspring. But that's quite a way off at the moment considering we don't have a boyfriend for her yet. This is just the basics of both station training and her ultrasound training. I'm getting her to just stand up. Ellie, and getting her used to being touched in her lower regions. She's pretty good about any sort of touch, especially if there's grapes in the offering. There is a hope. Both Chito and Tayla's genetics are quite well represented around Australasia, which is the area that our breeding program takes place. Several of Jamuna's older siblings have already had offspring. I mentioned Kitu before over in the US. We also have Dawa in Australia. He recently had a litter with his mates. We've also sent 2 older sisters off to other zoos in New Zealand. So Khusi is down at Wellington, part of their program, and Khela has moved to Auckland, and both those females have had offspring. Tayla was a bit of a legend, to be honest. 10 babies in 4 years, which is a bit higher than the average for red panda. Generally they'll have singles and twins, but in Tayla's 10 there was 2 sets of triplets. It is much rarer than both singles and the twins. There's only been a few documented cases of twins and triplets in captivity in Australasia, and Tayla's had 2 of them. She's a really good mum, and I'm hoping Jamuna will follow in her footsteps.